What's up chaps, I'm Magical Mike, and it's about that time of year when I dedicate a whole video to talking about how the channel is going and what to expect in the future. And since ASMR channels are absolutely booming right now, I've decided to turn all of my videos into whispered versions. I'm just messing around. I don't actually think I'd be capable of doing a good job of that anyway, and that's not a dig at ASMR either, because some of it's pretty good. So let's go over what I said in last year's video. At the time I'd felt that 2015 was a slow year due to the massive Guild Wars 2 content drought before Heart of Thorns launched. At the time I was used to being able to put out videos talking about all of the updates every couple of weeks, and that change forced me to rethink my strategy. I didn't expect to be completely giving up on Guild Wars 2 content after the expansion, but that absolutely happened. I honestly feel that Heart of Thorns was underdeveloped and underdelivered, to the point where even my guilds all gave up logging in regularly. And what that meant is that I basically stopped logging in as well, which in turn made me stop producing any content for it. Now I could have easily made a bunch of guides to things for easy views, but who really needs a video dedicated to pressing F on chickens? Seriously. And even if ranting about Guild Wars 2 was my favourite YouTube pastime, there's only so much I can say about the game. So that meant only 4 Guild Wars 2 videos appeared in 2016, 2 of which were the final time capsules for my characters. Sadly, these easy to make and ultimately dull videos for everyone else are some of the most guaranteed view-based content on my channel, and I realise that many of you guys subscribed to see me do Guild Wars 2 videos, but it is admittedly pretty disappointing to put tons more effort into other series that I want to make and not get similar results. Just because I put Guild Wars 2 in the title, I can get better numbers on basically anything. It doesn't matter if the actual video has any worthwhile content or not. I really don't want to make a bunch of crap Guild Wars 2 videos, but I suppose if I were in this just for ad revenue, it would probably be the smarter thing to do, so maybe I'm just gimping myself, I don't know. It's just not something I really want to do. I talked more about this in the very last video that I did on Guild Wars 2 and my state of interest with the game, so I'm not going to bother reiterating all that same stuff here. Anyway, I also finally finished the Building My Legend series that I kept promising every single year, but also cut it really short because of various other reasons, including the one I just talked about. I had much bigger plans for that series, but again it ended up being stuff that I didn't want to put the time into thanks to boring precursor collections and then them basically cancelling that whole system, so it just didn't seem worth talking about. The only remaining Guild Wars 2 video that I do plan on making is a behind the scenes look at the Doomgineer videos from 2015. I've only held off on doing that for so long because I'm not actually sure how interesting it would be, and I don't know how I can really present it and package it in a fun and interesting way. Just trying to work out how to edit that into not being a boring mess is difficult to get my head around. Moving on, I made a bunch more quiz-ins for 2016. Dark Messiah and Enderall both were never intended to be part of that series, but they ended up fitting quite nicely enough to reclassify them and rewrite them into that and just put them in that playlist. And among the other 4 videos that I did, Sonic Generations and Deus Ex Human Revolution were the more standard ones of the lot. I had a lot of fun doing Call of Juarez Gunslinger in an Old West accent, and writing that was surprisingly challenging actually, but a ton of fun, as I said. And combining Driver San Francisco with Burnout Paradise, while the games are vastly different mechanically, but they're both kind of racing games. It was a bit of an experiment, but I think it turned out pretty well. It was also a chance for me to mess around with 60 FPS properly for the first time, and as a result I learned a lot more about video compression thanks to that episode. The Iron Man series made a small appearance last year. I did a couple of parts on Deus Ex since I was replaying it for the Quiz-In video. It didn't go so well, but I still consider the format a worthwhile addition to the channel. I just need to think of some better challenges in future. Dark Souls 3's New Game Plus 2 boss challenge was a change of pace, being that I didn't do live commentary for it, and I cut out all the in-between stuff, so I just had the bosses and no running to them, no killing stuff, no collection, none of that. So it's often hard to make the decision on editing that series, but I'm happy with it at the moment. However, I would also like to hear any suggestions or challenges that you guys might have, any feedback, input or anything like that. Always open to it. But speaking of edited playthrough style stuff, I did a couple of Fallout 3 exploration videos. I'd spent at the time a long time watching Many a True Nerd on YouTube, and had decided that I liked his style of showing us pretty much everything that was going on, but cutting out all the non-content. So ultimately having a good Let's Play style, but cutting out a lot of stuff that you just didn't need to see, just quiet moments and things. And I wanted to see if I could emulate his style successfully, and the results being those two Fallout videos that I made. They were both originally about an hour long each, and they ended up cutting down to about 30 minutes after I chopped out all the slower or quiet moments. Again, there's more experimental stuff on my channel. I did a fair bit of that last year. But it's nice to know that I could use this style again in the future. I also made an atmospheric roleplay-ish Halloween video based in Fallout 3 in the Dunwich building. I'd love to know how everyone thought that turned out, but there's only one comment on that right now. So, oh well. Another special video was the fake Let's Play for Thief Gold, where I led you guys to believe that I was being super serious, and then showed a hidden developer level instead. And this was a lot of fun to play through, and very difficult to keep the commentary seeming straight edge, but yes, I enjoyed that video. Gotta think of something new to do for this year's April Fool's video now though, don't I? The last set of stuff to talk about would be the miscellaneous videos that I couldn't fit into any category. I thought it'd be a shame to throw some stuff away, so I uploaded the Call of Juarez arcade mode without commentary, which is something that I don't do often. I usually kind of do those unlisted. There's also an unlisted video of the duel mode in that game as well, which is incomplete, so I didn't upload it publicly, but it's not impossible to find. I think it's in the comments of the Quidzin somewhere, maybe even in the description, I don't know. But yeah, there's actually a lot of unlisted stuff on my channel that I upload regularly. There's a ton of Dark Souls PvP and stuff that just nobody cared to see, but I wanted to keep. There's an Overwatch video, which is a game that's unlikely to ever feature properly on the channel because I don't consider myself knowledgeable or worth adding anything to that community. I don't know, it's a difficult one. My channel isn't an FPS channel, and I don't think Overwatch would fit very well, but it's not completely out of the question either. There's some Dark Messiah content from the stream, and there's some Skyrim stuff that I was showing some people as well. Sometimes I just want to show somebody something specific, and videos are an easy way to do that. That means that I don't edit them and I just upload them as raw footage, so it's not really worth making those public because people will be like, what the hell is this? Yeah. Anyway, I also did a pretty out-of-the-blue Brutal Legend video. It was a guide to getting an achievement because I couldn't find a better strategy for it online, and so I made my own. And there's an early dancer kill in Dark Souls 3, which wasn't supposed to be much of a guide, more just me kind of showing off, but it seems that most people find it as a guide, and it's got a fair few views because of it, so that's cool. It's a happy accident. And that was 2016, so what did you guys think was the best and, in particular, worst videos that I did? Feedback is always welcome as long as it's constructive and not just F you, you're an idiot, lol. Kind of expect that comment now. And I'd really like more of you guys to engage with my non-Guild Wars 2 videos, because there's not a lot of those coming in the future, so that I can get an idea of what's good moving into this year in 2017. My own ideas include more quiz-ins, since I have a list of games that I'd like to talk about, more Iron Man challenges, and more miscellaneous edited playthrough style stuff like the Fallout videos when I find appropriate things to do. If I come across anything I want to make guides about, then expect those too, but I've no specific plans yet. I just kind of have to stumble into those as I find them. Something, I hesitate to say major, but it's a major plan in my own head that hasn't come to fruition yet, is a series that I want to kick off based on builds and role-playing games, because I seriously love RPGs and tinkering with builds in games that allow it, so I really want to talk about them. That includes adventure games too, kind of like, I've no good example right now, but I would say I would want to talk about Zelda in that same way, but it's definitely not an RPG. The only reason that I haven't yet started is because I'm struggling with how to present it, like how to wrap up each individual topic into an episode, and then make those part of a cohesive series rather than them all seeming like separate individual videos. So we'll see about that. It's gonna require a lot of setup and planning though, so well, I've no time frame for that just yet. But let me know if you've got any ideas or some such stuff for that. I might even include some D&D character stuff in there. We'll have to see. And I think that is about it. So if you guys have any comments, then I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks very much for watching another year of my YouTube junk, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.